All right. Can you hear me? All right, great. Good evening and welcome everyone. Psi Epsilon Omega, chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, in partnership with the Pearl Elegance Foundation Incorporated, presents to you an assessment of police reform progress. How far have we come? This webinar is also airing live on our Facebook page, so please share, use the chat, and ask questions. For those of you who have registered and are on our Zoom platform, please use the Q&A feature to post your questions. This webinar will focus the conversation on providing education around police reform, understanding key laws and reform activities, highlighting community relations, and how activism has helped to add value and shape the current state of our police reform. Our goal tonight is to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to collectively engage in the conversation to educate members of the communities we serve. We will begin our discussion with an opening from our chapter and foundation president, Mrs. Benita A. Swindell. Over to you.
Thank
President
you.
Swindell.
Thank you, Ms. Moulton Jones. Greetings as president of Psi Epsilon Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and Pearl Elegance Foundation, Inc. I would like to welcome everyone on our Zoom platform and those streaming live on Facebook to this evening's topic, an assessment of police reform progress. How far have we come? Over the last few years, police reform has been at the top of our agendas, and this virtual event will give us an opportunity to hear from our esteemed panelists on the progress made. We would like everyone, as Ms. Moulton said, to collectively engage in this evening's conversation and to take what has been shared back to your community. I hope that you will enjoy what promises to be a truly enlightening event. And at this time, I want to turn this back over to our moderator, Ms. Moulton Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, President Swindell. So everyone, this is our second webinar in this series and a follow on from our February webinar, a roundtable discussion about policing in a diverse community. Thank you to those who are joining us again and to those who are joining us for the first time. You are in for a great discussion. So with no further ado, I would like to welcome back and present our panelists for tonight's event. Ms. Yannette Emanuel, public policy advocate for the ACLU of Maryland, an organization that defends civil rights and civil liberties in Maryland. Thank you. Vanessa Atterbury, House of Delegates member for the Maryland General Assembly, and Mark Polinsky, Deputy Chief of Police for the City of Laurel. Ms. Emanuel, Delegate Atterbury, and Deputy Chief Polinsky, welcome back. All right. Hi, Delegate Vanessa Atterbury, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's great to be here. Thank you for having me again. Hello to all my beautiful SOARs. Thank you to President Sidwell and all those who helped to put this together tonight and all those who are listening.
Yes. So this is great because the first question is for you. So we are so glad that you are here. It's a two-part question.
Okay.
All right. So can you provide us with an overview of the recent police reform bills passed in the Maryland legislation this year and effective dates of the new laws? And what are the next steps for others in the future? Over to you, Delegate Atterbury.
Thank you. So the House passed one omnibus bill, which is HB 670, and the Senate passed multiple pieces of legislation. So what we ended up were three bills: House Bill 670, Senate Bill 178, and Senate Bill 71. And I'll give an overview and tell you which is in which bill, but I'll just give kind of the broad highlights, or I could probably go on for a very long time. So first, we repealed the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, which is in House Bill 670 and has an effective date of January 1st, 2022. And the reason for the kind of time there that we gave was to allow the different jurisdictions to put certain things in place that we provided in the bill. So for instance, we allowed the jurisdictions to create police accountability boards, and we have to provide time for the different jurisdictions to pass legislation locally for how those boards are going to be composed. We also said that there have to be body cameras, and we provided different timelines for that. The farthest timeline out is 2025. Some of the larger jurisdictions, like Prince George's County, are already underway. Howard County, I represent District 13 in Howard County, we're getting underway now. But we wanted to allow time for some of the smaller jurisdictions to be able to obtain funds for the purchase of those body cameras, and also to see in the upcoming session if we're going to be able to help out with possibly the purchase of those funds. And that's in Senate Bill 71. We also created a new statewide use of force statute. And I will tell you, this is in Senate Bill 71 as well, and is effective June 1st, 2021. And so what we said was that the force that an officer uses on an individual has to be necessary and proportional to prevent an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury, and based on the totality of the circumstances. And that's actually a very high standard. And I'm happy to see Ms. Emanuel here. We worked closely with the ACLU on that use of force standard. So you all can thank her for that as well. And so a lot of the things that you heard in the news over the course of this past year nationally in terms of de-escalation, chokeholds, duty to intervene, it's all kind of wrapped up in that actual standard. And to that, we also tied criminal penalties. So if an officer intentionally violates that statute, they could be face 10 years in prison of criminal penalty.